In this video, I'm going to break down Do Kwon's Web3 vision and his revolutionary new protocol that's going to change the way we work in a Web3 world. If that sounds good to you, then smash that like button and let's get into it.
My name's Bond. James Bond.
Come back alive.
Web3 marks a valuable opportunity for people to spend more time in digital spaces than in the physical world. I think it's great for lots of different reasons. It sort of flattens geographic disparities in compensation and opportunity. So if you are an anonymous person and then you have access to a computer and the internet, like you can be one of the leading contributors to a major DAO, irrespective of where you might happen to be based, what your gender is, what you look like, your physical stature. So all those things become flattened in sort of the anonymity of the internet. And I think that's huge because talent is uniformly distributed across all different parts of the world, across different races and genders. I think in terms of providing equal opportunity of access, transition most economic activity to the internet, I think it's going to be really exciting. So I sort of see a world where you can sort of export your identity. All the apps and games and services that we use today are going to slowly start to meld together and then sharing the same infrastructure. The human transition to digital spaces is going to be absolutely game-changing, and I think it's going to be an important way to provide equal opportunity for humanity. And what I want to be spending time on is to make sure that that future happens a little bit faster by building apps that I think are going to be value additive to the space.
I've been following this protocol for some time now. It's not well known, but it was first revealed to me in early February in this video interview I did with Ingi Kim of States DAO.
Chronos protocol. Their founder is of the founding member in Terraform Labs. He is developing tokenizing human time.
I was wondering how that was going to work, the tokenization of workers and fellows and mentors' time. So that's through this Chronos protocol, is it?
Yeah, we are collaborating with Chronos protocol.
Cool.
So we are very excited to work with them to tokenize our fellows' time.
The States DAO protocol is going to allow for Web2 engineers to be mentored so they can upskill themselves to become Web3 engineers. At the start of a fellowship, all fellows will tokenize 100 hours of their time. 90 hours will go to their mentor and 10 hours to the States DAO. At the end of the fellowship, the mentor or States DAO can utilize the tokens to buy a fellow's labor hours to collaborate on Web3 projects. They can then decide to hold the token or sell them on an open market. Do breaks this down even further in this interview.
Fungible labor markets. If you look at most DAOs, ultimately what DAOs want is more people to build on their blockchains, to build on their apps, to build more front ends. So essentially they want to port developers. But they're taking an indirect way of getting there by incentivizing liquidity instead of developer participation, because there isn't like a scalable labor market that can work with their incentives. So what if you had fungible labor markets? What if somebody can put up their productive hours for sale and it can trade on a DEX, like an AMM, for instance, and then a DAO can go out and say, hey, look, I'm going to buy 1 million hours of productive developer time, and I'm going to give all the apps in the ecosystem the right to redeem these time tokens. So in that case, like somebody could go to Avalanche, for instance, and say, hey, look, I'm going to put my developer hours on sale. The Avalanche DAO is going to buy a lot of it. And then I can spend my time doing open source contribution to, let's say, Trader Joe's or Pangolin or Defrost Finance, and I could have a lot of fun doing it, while at the same time being fairly compensated for the work that I'm doing that is efficiently priced by the market. An interesting side product of this that I think is even more interesting is that now, once you have fungible labor, you can put this as collateral to borrow money against it. It would sort of be the first case whereby you can transition DeFi from pure speculative money play into something that efficiently allocates capital to productive use cases. And the most productive use case of crypto, I might add, which is the labor output of open source developers.
To a certain extent, this concept already exists in the form of the Degen Score. Now, the Degen Score blew up during the Ethereum DeFi summer of 2020 and has been used to get people employed with protocols, institutions, and hedge funds based off their on-chain activity. As we can see here from Avi Feldman, former investment officer for Block Tower, has been headhunted by a major corporate institution, Golden Tree Capital, to head up their crypto arm.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about Block Tower, your background?
I'm the PM of Block Tower Capital, which is a crypto investment firm. We're really focused on just delivering outperformance and alpha in the cryptocurrency markets. We have a lot of institutional investors.
Now, Golden Tree Capital manages nearly $47 billion worth of assets, and they're moving into Web3. While building out his team, Avi put this tweet out, currently hiring GigaChad analysts to work alongside me. Someone then commented, I'm hiring too, send me resumes please. To which Avi responded, imagine needing a resume to hire people. Not gonna make it. Send me your Degen Score. Thanks. And within minutes, people started sending screenshots of their Degen Score to prove their standing on the blockchain. Before I continue, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Hi, I'm Gerry, host of the Lunar Orbit podcast, where I provide regular alpha and updates on all things Terra Luna. And if you enjoy this content, consider supporting the channel by smashing that like button, hitting subscribe, and hitting the notifications bell so you get all my videos in a timely fashion. I believe this protocol is going to integrate with several others, including the Passport protocol, which is a protocol that leverages a user's on-chain activity to determine certain outcomes. It can be used in several ways as incentive mechanisms, tracking people's on-chain governance, the NFTs they own, their community engagement, and potentially be even used for lending and credit. And basically, other protocols can create their own hybrid scorecard based off a number of variables here, such as the age of someone's wallet, the number of transactions, the number of tokens they staked rather than dumping, how active they are in claiming tokens, and it can help to do things like create a loyalty score, provide ongoing incentives for liquidity providers, and maybe even determine your access to an IDO or future airdrop. On top of this, I believe that the Avatar protocol could help gamify this in the form of NFTs, allowing you to build on your own PFP avatar, achievements and unlocks that you've done by being a good actor in the community of any given protocol. And in this Medium post, here's a good example of how that could work. NFTs are earned from protocols that represent specific on-chain actions, thereby serving as a valuable data point for anyone to see. Future protocols looking for active participants in governance could potentially airdrop their governance tokens specifically to active users. I can see the Passport protocol, the Avatar protocol, and Chronos coming together to create a brand new DeFi primitive that can be used across multiple blockchains, level the playing field, and democratize Web3 work. Thanks very much for watching. If you enjoy this content, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and maybe consider watching one of my other videos.